Did your mom ever read you The Cat with the Gat children's book as a kid and ever since then you've always wanted to live that reality? If yes, then your dreams have come true and more. With Gato Roboto, you can be a cat using a gat, but also shooting with rocket launchers, phasing through lava, bowling,
Japa.
even climbing walls like in the decorated Tiny Toons adventure. But before I get ahead of myself, let's get the Souls-like shiz out of the way. Well, Gato Roboto is actually not a Souls-like. Wait, the title is not clickbait. Because I indeed found Gato Roboto while searching for a short Souls-like game, like I said. I don't say that Gato Roboto is a Souls-like in the title or thumbnail, so how can I have clickbaited you? Diddle me that, Gat man. Okay, had a laugh, sir? It's time to get serious. I found out about Gato Roboto on a thread about short Souls-like / Metroidvania games, and I thought it would be like Blasphemous or Hollow Knight, a Souls Metroidvania fusion. But Gato Roboto is a pure blood, just Metroidvania. No RPG mechanics, no losing souls and having to collect the lost souls, no deep cryptic lore. But we can hate the Germans for not having a sense of humor, or we can appreciate them for, Now we can hate Gato Roboto for not having RPG mechanics and super duper difficulty, or love it for what it does offer. And it offers a lot. Time-wise, you might not think much of the game. It took me 4 hours to finish it, and if you want to get all the achievements, it might take a couple hours more. That might seem short, but let me try and explain why the game is still worth it. Almost everything that Gato Roboto attempts, it does perfectly. I didn't like the game when I first saw the screenshots, not gonna lie. I was not a big fan of the black and white graphics, and I thought that it'd be difficult to see what's going on the screen. But I was wrong. You hate to see it, but it seems blacks and whites can indeed come together to make something very beautiful. And even at the busiest of times, nothing was muddy and I was always aware of what was going on. There are collectible color palettes that you can use, but the game will still just have 2 shades. So different tint, same art style. Good art style. The controls are also good. As polished as the Silver Surfer, and moving around in the mech as well as in kitty form feels fantastic. And yes, the first taste you get of the world are as a gatless cat, who can't attack and can't take more than 1 hit, but can climb up walls, swim, and enter small spaces. No, don't make con jokes. These cat sections serve well to break up the pace between robot action sequences. And here is where Gato Roboto really shows that it's not robbing you, but providing a brilliant service. For a game as short as 3 to 4 hours, the devs, especially indie devs, could get away with presenting the concept of a cat in a mech who has to occasionally get out of the suit to progress, and sticking with it throughout the game. But Doinksoft wouldn't get my doink hard just with that. New concepts are constantly introduced for both the mech and the kitty sections. I'll talk about Kiki first, that's Elgato's name. She doesn't get permanent upgrades like biomechanical wings or something. It's not 2027, the revolution is not here yet. But she does get water sections which cannot be entered via the mech. Kiki bravely dives into the depths despite hating it, and you'll have to deal with the puzzles and unique enemies it offers. Occasionally, she'll even get a submarine to spice things up. Sometimes there'll be laser guns for you to clear out enemies or obtrusive rocks, and even a glass jaw rat of a boss. Variety is the spice of life, and the cat with these spices is delicious. For the mech, your first upgrade is a rocket launcher, which despite having a cooldown you should treat as your primary weapon, because the main fire sucks, especially against bosses. And then, now I'm a bit of a gaming expert and I can see that Gato Roboto has taken notes from its predecessors, because the next upgrade you get is turning into a ball. Classic Castlevania move right there. With it, you can double jump and bounce against enemies, and what the frick am I fucking? I'm not here to just list off everything in the game and pretend I'm a good reviewer. The game is short, go surprise yourself. I was pointing out that the game was special for continually expanding on the base premise, and then I got caught in the details. So let's move on from the fluff and talk about something else that the game does brilliantly. A reason why you must buy it. The bosses. Well, there's really just one boss in this game, the mouse. But this little rat patootie comes again and again with a huge assortment of weaponry to show you who the big dog is. These fights are definitely the hardest and the best sections of the game, and there's always a little puzzle element of figuring out how you should approach the fight, and then executing that easier said than done plan. But it never feels unfair or tedious since you have your save points right next to your bosses. And here I feel they are fine, but overall I think there's too many of these. Compared to the boss battles, the rest of the game, including the mini bosses, feels just like a cheesecake walk. Get it? Because of the... You'll not breeze past everything, but where in the boss battles, figuring out what needed to be done was only part of the experience, with the rest of the challenges, once you know what the game expects of you, executing on it is a piece of cheesecake. Get it? It's a But thank godfully, this is the only negative of the game, and easily excusable. Back to the good, the variety continues. You keep entering new areas and encountering new enemies. And once you finish the story portion of an area, a lot of new sections open up for exploration. All the while, dope-ass alien music sets the mood for every situation. And most surprisingly, the story is good enough that I don't want to give you any spoilers. For the setup, you as Kiki the cat and your owner Gary crash into an unknown planet due to a tiny oopsie poopsie while responding to a signal from an apparently abandoned research facility. It's all haha and hee hee and fighting frogs and a talking mouse, but eventually the story takes a more serious turn. And I'll say even pulls it off. Had me emotional for a moment. Did you hear that, ladies? I as a man got emotional, something to think about. The ending I felt was a little rushed, but I'm not going to take a point for it because I'm too lazy to change the section where I said the difficulty imbalance was the only negative of the game. So bottom line, go and try Gato Roboto, fellow Sigmas. It's short, but as sweet as the childhood you'll never get back again. Beep beep boop. Normal mode activated. I just wanted to thank everyone who showed love in my Monster Hunter DOS video. A new Monster Hunter video is in the works. I just did this quickie because some real life stuff kept me busy and Monster Hunters are already huge, so I wanted to upload something in the meantime. Show Mr. Algorithm that I'm still here. Moving along, the next game is going to be Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. And Omega in the comments of my DOS video had convinced me to try, but it had this weird pixelation problem for which I couldn't find any solution that worked. I tried turning off the bloom and reshading it myself and it was looking pretty decent, but then the menus would have this horrendous lighting, so I thought I'll just try 3U. And lastly, a lot of people weren't on board with the copious amounts of corn in my videos, so I hear you. From now on, I'll only show corn when it's absolutely necessary. When you see corn footage in my videos, you'll be like, damn, that was so perfect, I can't imagine anything other than porn there and yeah. I should probably stop gooning. Yeah. Thanks and bye-bye.